Hello, this is Danny Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide, and I've only had a few minutes to play around with the Jumptown 2 scenario, so I don't really have any specifics on it yet, although I would like to talk in general about my thoughts about it going in. And my first thought is that this type of mission is something that CIG needs to get right. If not in this iteration, but soon.
This is Liaison Officer Van Zandt with Crusader Security. I'll be overseeing your contract with us. Appreciate your help in dealing with this illegal production facility. As outlined, the hope is that you'll be able to secure the site and confiscate any contraband you find for delivery to our evidence hold. Now, these so-called criminal geniuses have managed to automate a lot of production, so it's unclear how long they'll be manufacturing product for or how many outlaws will be on site, but I'd go in ready to face some serious resistance. Could get pretty nasty. I'm sure you'll be fine though. I'll check in on you later.
CIG has sold a large number of craft for the role of ground assault and defense. The A-2 bomber, Nova tank, ballista anti-aircraft, Spartan armored personnel, and others to a lesser extent. And the basic question with all of them has been whether there would be an NPTU purpose to them. This event will go a long way to answer those questions, or not. But it does mean that with all these tools, I have no idea what the meta tactics of this event will be, which is unusual. I can see the A-2 as having a big role, but also a ship like a fully crewed Redeemer being a good ship to chase away the A-2 before it could drop its heavy damage. In fact, give me a crew of 7 or 8 and a choice of only one ship, and I'll pick the Redeemer. Put 4-man fire crew in those jump seats and fill the turret, and you've got a ship that can clear the skies, drop a team to get the goods, provide cover, and haul the goods away. If the team was slightly larger, then the Prowler becomes the single ship of choice, and larger still, enter the Valkyrie. But here's the thing. If you actually have a team large enough to fill the Valkyrie, you've already won. Because this scenario will overwhelmingly favor the side that can assemble a large team. Assemble a 40-person team, and you are guaranteed a 4-to-1 minimum advantage over your opponent, because this is a 50-person server. The other side can't possibly have more than 10. Does this mean that a real solution will have to wait until after server meshing? Actually not, because server meshing alone will not solve it without another change. And that has to do with how sides are chosen for the scenario. Simply put, crime stat versus non-crime stat is a poor basis for dividing sides in an event scenario. Although PvP players are more likely to have crime stat, the actual number of crime stat players is almost always a minority on the server, not to mention that they have the burden of having to go through jail on every defeat. The better solution is to have 2 mutually exclusive factions. Let's call them red and blue. One, let's say red, might be more tolerant of criminals, but not a requirement. By initiating with one or the other, a player will pre-enroll as being interested in PvP events and what side they're interested in them. Then, only when the server has, let's say, at least 10 of each red members and blue members, but neither side having more than, say, 4 more than the other, then the event starts on that server. In other words, the PvP event will only start when there are conditions that will make it possible for it to be a fair one. When the universe gets bigger with server meshing and more planets, the numbers would change and also be based on the proximity to the event, but the principle remains the same, that the event starts only when there are sufficient populations on both factions to allow a fair one to happen. Having the event based on factions also means that faction reputation can be given as a reward for success and reputation reduction be given as a penalty for failure, even if the player chose not to participate. And if you think that's harsh, it's not unreasonable. They had an emergency and you decided to stay home. Why shouldn't that reduce your reputation? And my next concern is that there should be an event-specific chat channel for each side, even if the players are not part of a group. This is also a suggestion that I had with the Xeno threat and Ninetales lockdown missions. There was no way to communicate with others that were on your own side without also broadcasting to the opponents. So, among the key things that I will be looking for from the Jumptown 2 events: 1. How often will mass area of effect weapons like the A-2 bombers be used? 2. Will purpose-built dropships be used, or will there be just a swarm of light transports like Nomads, Avengers, Vanguards, 300s, etc., just working together? 3. Will there be use of tactics for dropping ground vehicles a distance away to do the last few kilometers on the ground? If so, will the emphasis be on fewer heavy armor like Nova, Ballista, and Spartans, or will they be smaller numbers of high-mobility ground craft like the Ursa, Cyclone, and Dragonfly? How far away will the drop zone tend to be? 4. Will it eventually become an extortion event like Jumptown 1 was? There seems to be kind of a lore that Jumptown 1 was some sort of massive free-for-all. But most of the time, it was a situation where one group would control the base, kind of a king of the hill, and then demand extortion payments from anybody wanting to land there, which would last until another group decided to drive them off and set themselves up as king of the hill. So many interesting questions. I'm on the edge of my seat in anticipation of what the answers will be. And those are my quick early thoughts about Jumptown 2. So let's wrap it up with an update on the Grow the Channel Ship giveaway. As of recording, we are at 41% of the subscriber goal and 22% of the membership goal to give away the winner's choice of either the Anvil Liberator, the ship-shipping ship for shipping your ships, or the Misk Odyssey long-duration exploration carrier. And if the winner is also a member on the day the video is published, they will win both the Liberator and the Odyssey. One entry per video. Members are entered automatically. For others, just be a subscriber and comment with the secret word. And the secret word for this video will be the ship or vehicle that you expect will be your go-to for arriving at Jumptown 2 events. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Daniel Raymond for Ray's Guide.